everybody, it's Sheila with Designs by Baby Moon, and I told you guys earlier that I'm still working on masks, but I had a couple of people this week ask me for a very specific mask, and I just spent too much time. I spent too much time not to tell somebody else about it, so I'm telling you guys. So, and you know, we mailed it out yesterday and they got it today and they're very happy with it. So let me show you what I've come up with. So I think I told you guys that I'm using the designs from Sweet Red Poppy. It's just real simple. And then the one from Missouri Star. But then I've also tried a few in the hoop versions that other people have released. And I mean, there's so many different options for the masks. And I mean, really hundreds at this point. But let me show you what I've done with this one in particular. So most of the masks that people want, they want the pleated kind, and that's the one I'm using following the Missouri Star tutorial. That's just 2 layers. I'm using 7 by 9 inch fabric right now, and then stitching it together top and bottom, leaving a pocket on the top, and then putting the elastic loops on. But when I ordered elastic, so my elastic has started coming in from overseas, and I ordered from one co-op group, and then I ordered from somewhere else, and I just didn't read carefully because most of the time, by the time I was ordering elastic, it was late at night. I just wasn't reading very carefully. But anyway, a bunch of it came in, and it is this cord kind of elastic. It's like a round cord, and I showed my husband. He's like, oh, that's bungee cords. You see that? All this cord stuff. So I mean, I was kind of like, great, what am I going to do with that? And I actually was digging around, and I had some of that in a drawer, so I was like, ugh, I got to figure out something to use this for. And you could use it for drawstring bags, or it actually would probably work really well if you needed to replace the elastic in like a hoodie or something. I mean, you know, a string or a drawstring or something like that. But I was thinking specifically for masks, maybe, like, how are people doing that? Because on my ears, this would hurt my head. This is too thick. Because the elastic that I'm using for my ear loop kind of things is flat elastic, and this round elastic I thought would hurt. But I saw this idea, and I thought I would just show you guys. So what I have here is I have the basic mask from Sweet Red Poppy. So it's this shape design. I don't have any, and it's, you know, so it's just lined. So it's cotton on the white, or I use white on the inside, and then my material on the outside. But I did something different. So the Sweet Red Poppy version has you insert straps, and then you sew up the ends, and you leave a hole somewhere else. But on this version, what I did is I added a little tab on the end so that I could make a casing for this elastic. And the way I put the tab on is at the end of the mask, let me put this right here, have a convenient shelf. At the end of the mask, I just laid a piece of, it was about 4 inches by 2 inches wide of a piece of material. I laid it face up on the back, so right side of the material to the wrong side, and then I folded the ends down, flipped it over, and then tacked it down on the top. So it's a nice sturdy casing. So it's doubled. In some places it's got 4 layers of fabric in there, but it's a nice casing. It's very thick. If you have downloaded the Ohana Applique Design OAD, her dusk mask in the hoop design, this is essentially the same piece that you use for the tabs on her mask. So like I said, I got this idea just putting all these things together and trying to figure out how to use this cord. Then in the Ohana Applique Design, she says to use fold over elastic. And so I have plenty of fold over elastic, but I want to use this because I have so much of it. I probably have more of this than I have fold over elastic now, like yards. This version, her version, for the elastic goes around the head, and there's 2 pieces of elastic. Well, I didn't want to, I wanted this to be kind of adjustable. So what I did is I looped it through the bottom. Let me see if I can figure out how to show you this. Can we see this right here? This is pretty, isn't it? Okay, so I'm going to put that part around my neck. So let's pretend I'm at the table. And the bottom of the elastic, can we see this? It loops around through the bottom. This is the top. And then so it loops around through the bottom, and then these 2 ends come off. And then what I did on these 2 ends, let me grab it again, is I put one of these cord locks on it. Now I got these at Hobby Lobby, but I have somewhere a bag of a bunch of them, and I found little random ones in place. Oh, they may be in my snap section. I may have to look in there. But they're these little cord locks, and I just threaded these holes of elastic through there. And what they do, it has a little spring in there and some holes, and when you push the spring, the elastic can slide, or whatever you put in there can slide through. And then when you let it go, it holds it tight, so it's not going to move. It's not going to go anywhere once it's tight. So it's called a cord lock. So it's a lock. And then what I did is I just tied the ends. So a lot of people use these cord locks on the ends of like drawstring bags, like athletic bags, or mesh bags, like if you get a mesh laundry bag. In fact, one of the cord locks that I had, I took off of something else that came in something, and it had one of these locks on it. And I'm like, I'm using that because I wasn't using that little bag, and I was able to just throw it away and use the cord lock on it. Anyway, so this, when you put it on, let me show you how you put it on. So you put the loop around your neck. So now it's upside down the way I had it before. You put the loop around your neck so that when you are wearing it, you can take it off like this. You're going to have both loops around your head eventually, but then you can take it off and it can hang in front of you. It can be very out of the way, like you can hang it and then bring the mask down to the bottom, and because of that cord lock, it's going to be very far out of the way, so it's not all up in your neck, because that is one thing about wearing the mask that's bugging me, is having things up on my neck, because I feel like I'm being choked. And putting a mask on doesn't make you feel any better. But then watch this. So then you put it on, you put this up on your face, and then, I don't know if I can do this with two hands, but you're going to take that cord lock. I can't do it with one hand, that's what I mean. And then you can just pull this cord lock, and if you were doing it with two hands, it would be a lot easier. But then this doesn't go around your ears at all. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I can't even hear with the mask on. I don't know what the deal is. Okay, but now the mask is on, and you can see that it's like behind my head. So see? And up over my nose, obviously. But then that cord is like, it's just there, and I don't have to worry about it. It doesn't get, if you're wearing a ponytail or something, it's even better. I mean, I don't know anybody, I'm going to take this off. I don't know anybody that's not wearing a ponytail right now, but then, so you can just pull it off like that. You could pull it off over the front of you, and then, get that off down here, and then pull the mask out of the way. And so then you could pop it back on when you need to go in a store. So, it's just an idea, and I just thought, it's working for me now. And the lady that I made them for that wanted all these features, and I had this cord to use, she wanted ties, but if you're like me, you're either out of bias tape or you're tired of making bias ties. I'm just tired of making bias ties. I'm tired of 1.5 inch strips of fabric. I'm tired of that when I have all of this elastic. You know what, Margaret? I got this from my co-op, and I know that they're out of this right now. I have seen it on both Amazon and eBay. It's called round. Sometimes it's called round cord or round elastic. My husband said it's the same thing that bungee cords are made out of. So the only kind I have is white, but I've gotten loads of it. And so until I run out of these, which I have more of these coming from online. I found a U.S. seller that has some, and also a seller from China that's shipping faster than the elastic sellers were. I ordered more, but you can also, I got this one, these in particular, at Hobby Lobby yesterday. So our Hobby Lobby's open, and I've been twice already because I'm an addict. And Hobby Lobby kind of it felt normal the first time I went in, but now it's like there's so much not in there now because of the rash of people that have been in there. It's not in there, but these are in the sewing notion section. These are by Sewology, and they're called cord locks, and they're in the fabric, there's the Sewology section of sewing notions with the buckles and the key fob hardware's over there, sewing needles, the cam snaps, the regular snaps, and all that. That's where these are. And they come 2 in a pack, and they were $1.99 a pack, so it was $1 for 2. And I've got my masks priced that I'm selling for people for $12, so it's no big deal to have. It was $1 for 2 because they were 50% off, so they're functionally 50 cents each. So to add a 50-cent piece of hardware to a $12 item that I'm selling worked out fine in my cost of goods. And I'm not really I'm really not even counting that in the whole mask thing, because we're just got to be making masks. Anyway, you could, if you didn't have this cord, you could also use paracord. Oh, you know what, Julie, you just said paracord. Yep, and Hobby Lobby actually had a ton of paracord and cotton cords in the section. It's on the row with the, there's like the jewelry rows, and then on one of the jewelry rows is also leather making stuff and leather and stuff, and so it's on that row too. So it's kind of like by the kids beads, the plastic beads, but the paracord stuff, back when paracord bracelets were popular and they never kind of quit carrying all that stuff, it's all still over there. So you could totally use paracord for it as well. And that's where I thought I was going to find these clips, cord locks. I thought I was going to find them by the paracord, but I didn't. And I wonder if Michael's might have them, because Michael's has a lot of paracord supplies as well, and I know they have different stuff than Hobby Lobby. Anyway, but yeah, I really like these, and I think the ones from Hobby Lobby were pretty too. So this is kind of like a brassy color, which goes good with my pink polka dot mask. Yeah, I am shopping, and I tell you, I thought about you guys when I was in there. I went yesterday, and then I went last Friday, the first day, and then I went yesterday, only because I actually really needed something. I have a big mask order for a bunch of navy blue masks, and I thought, I'm going to go look and see if I can find navy blue. And I did. I found navy blue, 100% cotton fabric, which was kind of like a Christmas miracle. And I bought the whole bolt. But anyway, there were plenty of solids in there, which I was surprised by, because Joann's has no solids. Hobby Lobby online doesn't have any solids. And there's a quilt store in town that I have bought fabric from, the wide width, 108-inch wide width quilt backing, but they have solids, but they don't have any more dark. They don't have black or blue. So I thought I would just try it at Hobby Lobby, and I found it. So I was really excited. Let me see. Oh, shock cord at Hardware. You know what, Donna? That's a good idea. Yes, you could also do this with a t-shirt yarn too. You could totally do that. And I don't have a lot of knit fabric, because when I do sew, I don't use a lot of knit. So I haven't even started that. But when I was kind of panicking about not having any elastic, my order from Boutique Emily, I think I told you guys about them, that came in. And then about a week after that, all my elastic from Amazon and eBay started coming in, and now it's really insane. I mean, it looks like an elastic factory blew up on my dining table. But it was still, there's still places that are having a hard time getting it. So I don't know if mask making slows down and we could do some elastic giveaways. But I thought what we need to do is, maybe for those of you that are like me and ordered tons of elastic, maybe we need to come up with some embroidery designs that use this particular kind of elastic or that other flat elastic. I don't know. Maybe we'll see what we come up with. I'm sure we're all clever, creative people, and we can figure out something to do with our elastic, right? Anyway, I wanted to just show this idea to you guys specifically. So if you had this weird elastic, this is pretty comfortable around my neck. Again, I wouldn't want this around my ears, because I think it just feels thick to me. And you may not have that issue. I have lots of texture and sensitive issues. But this works because it's not behind my ears. It's not pulling on my head. And I can adjust with this cord lock to make sure it fits. It's secure enough where it's not going to fall off, and I'm not having to mess with it and touch it the whole time while I'm out. But it also is comfortable. As comfortable as you can be when you're being suffocated by a mask. How about that? Okay, that's it. I do have some designs that I worked on this week, and hopefully tonight I'll be able to get some of those out and show you guys what I've been working on. I spent some time this afternoon not rethreading, but reworking my tension needles, and that on my multi-needle, because I don't think I'd ever really gotten that right, and I got some new tools to test my tension with, and so I feel like a grown-up now. I did grown-up work on my machine, and so I can do that. I can do better things if I'm treating my machines like a grown-up. So let's see. Silicone locks. Oh, they look like used on eyeglass holders. Yeah, you know what? Margaret, that's a good idea. I wonder, I have some of those in a jewelry one of my jewelry making box things. I'm going to look at that too and see if that would work, because that little slider that goes on those ear glass holder things, that may work too. Yeah, that is clear. I know what you're talking about. Margaret says she saw a mask that somebody purchased off Etsy that used thin round elastic, so maybe this, and some small silicone locks that you use on eyeglass holders. So y'all know what I'm talking about? Those, when you make an eyeglass lanyard, you know, the little things that clip on, there's a part that clips on your eyeglasses, and then there's a part that clips on the holder so you can wear your glasses around your neck. That would actually work. That would work a lot. Dale, yes, this is elastic, but you could also use paracord or even shoelaces, so my original idea for that lady that wanted the mask a certain way is that I was going to get shoelaces, and I saw the Winter, it's Linda Winter on YouTube, like Winter Chicken Dinner, that's her name, and she had shoelaces that she was showing, and she was talking about how she got them at Dollar Tree, so I sent a kid over to Dollar Tree for me, and you guessed it, there were no shoelaces at Dollar Tree. There's also no elastic bands, hair bands, nothing elastic at my Dollar Tree either. So the good thing is that people we can figure out alternatives, and so I haven't gone to look at shoelaces at Walmart, but this cord that I had an excess of works great. So yes, this is elastic, but you could use shoelaces, you could use paracord, you could even use macrame cord, like that nylon macrame cord I think would be fine to use. And I feel like for this, like, you wouldn't use something scratchy like jute, but nylon would be fine, or even cotton cord, although cotton's going to get weird when you wash it. So if you're making them and selling them, I put a little slip of paper in mine that tells people how to take care of it, and I say, you know, make sure, because too, the general public, I feel like nobody really knows how to use 100% cotton. Only people who sew or quilters do. And so I'm not sure that, I was worried that because most people, when they buy something in the store, they expect it to not wrinkle, or if it is something that wrinkles, they take it to the cleaners. Well, I don't even know if the cleaners are open, but we're not going to take our masks to the dry cleaners and get them pressed. So I put in there that when they wash it, they need to put it in one of those, you know, the lingerie bags, or the little mesh bags that you throw in the wash to keep things together and not tangly. They need to put it in one of those, and then they need to iron it when it's done, when it comes out. So I pre-wash all of my fabric, because it's 100% cotton and it's going to shrink a little bit. I pre-wash it all by running it through the laundry with no detergent and no fabric softener. So it shrinks. I use super hot water. I let it shrink. I dry it on super hot. So I get as much shrink out as I can, so that by the time it gets to here, it's not going to shrink on the person and then look all rumply. But that way it's already kind of soft, because the fabric, when you buy it at the store, or even if it's been sitting, I have fabric that's been sitting on my shelves for years, and there's no telling what kind of dust is on it. So I ran it through the wash, and I just, you know, a fresh start and a fresh press with the iron is always a good thing. Anyway, I put that on a care, it's just like I can get 4 out of a piece of paper. I put that on there, in there with the masks, so that people know how to take care of them. And I do say on there that they need to wash them regularly, because I've seen people go around out town that aren't washing their masks, and it's grossing me out. And that's their issue, not mine. I'm just saying it but I put it on there, and I felt like I'm doing my part by telling people that they need to run their masks through the laundry frequently. Okay, let me see if there's any other questions here. T-shirt strips pulled into yarn. Yes. Yes. Well, you know what? And Donna, because of this little cord lock thing and this thing, I think it saves a step. It saves time and like tying. Somebody that I was talking to said they were tired of messing around with all the ties, with the 2 ties from the bottom and the 2 ties from the top. And so I thought this is a way to save a little bit of time. You just have to pull the cord tight. So, I mean, it's just an idea. Let's see. Where can I get some of that elastic? Margaret, did I answer this? I say I got it. I ordered some off eBay, and it was called elastic cord, and I wasn't reading. I was thinking I was buying flat elastic, and I wasn't. It's just elastic cord. And it is about 5 millimeters thick, round. I would say that this is right at 5 millimeters. So eBay, Amazon, I think that's it. That's where I would get it. But yeah, so I thought about taking you guys with me into Hobby Lobby while I was there. I did have one older teenager with me who needed some craft supplies. And I just realized, this is funny. So my kids are over here folding laundry, but I just realized that you can see, I don't know who came by. If it was one of you guys that came by, I don't know who you were, because I didn't see it. Simon came in and he brought me a bag that somebody had dropped over that was a Happy Mother's Day bag. And it wasn't from somebody in my family because they don't live here. But in that bag was a bag of cookies and a bag of crackers and some brie cheese and some tulips. And so I was going to put him in the kitchen up high. And he was like, no, somebody's going to eat it. So they're at my desk. Those are my cookies. So my children aren't watching this, so they don't know about it. Anyway, how long is the elastic cut? Okay, so that is the thing. This is 54 inches of elastic. So it's quite a bit, which means I can use up quite a bit of elastic when I made 6 masks last night, and I used a ton of elastic, so that's more than a yard and a half times 6 is 12, no, not 12, 10 yards of elastic about. So I used up a good amount, and what the possibility exists that now I'm going to make this design, and so everybody will want this, and then I'll run out of this, and I have people that wanted some of a certain fabric, and it's like, this is what we can get right now. This is all that there is on earth. So you just do what you can do. Margaret says the hospital recommends us to wash masks daily. Yes, that's true. And which, if you're in the hospital environment, you're washing a lot of things daily too, right? So anyway, that's it. I just wanted to pop in and say that. I have some things coming out. What mask design are you using? Michelle, this one is this is a mashup. This is the Sweet Red Poppy basic mask. And then this part is, I got this idea from Kelly at Ohana Applique Design, OAD. Her free dust mask had these tabs on it, and I made several of hers, and they're really good. They're really thick, and it is hot here, and I don't like being hot, so I've only made a few of those because that's too many layers. It was a lot of layers. But this is the tab version off of her design, so it was 4 inches by 2 inches, and so you can get her design, and it'll actually show you how to put it on to that mask. And I just took that idea and did it on this one after I finished it. So that's all that was. Barbie, it looks, I'll put it back on. So it looks like this. Hi, people in here. Oh, hi. I'm on a video. Do you want to say hi? Nobody ever wants to come over here and say hi. So it looks like this. I'll put it on. So I have it hanging around my neck. I can put it on like this. And I can almost do it with one hand, except for, locking that cord lock. But that holds behind your head, and it doesn't use your ears to hold on to. Anyway, and then I can, when I take it off, so I could pull it off like this, just so those loops are there. But I could also take that cord and then pull it way out like this and let it hang down, like your glasses would be hanging down. And so it's not hanging up around your neck, where it's just off and on your neck, because that's too hot. It's too hot for that. It's going to be too hot, except unless you're in that polar vortex thing. So that's craziness. All right, I'm going to let you guys go. We're going to go make dinner, and I hope that was helpful. And maybe it was just yet another idea of the hundreds of ideas for masks that you guys might be making. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for watching.